So in those first few moments, psychologists have been trying to unpick, and this is the work that I do, trying to unpick what actually it is that's happening in your brain. And the first thing that can happen is that we get the responses. Everyone know what they are? Fight or flight? Yeah, everyone come across that idea? That if you're followed by a tiger, you're going to try and run away for it, or if you're really silly, try and fight it. Yeah. Actually, we think that there's another mechanism that can come into effect, and that's freezing. And that's when people just don't know what to do. People who haven't had the training will just go into what we call cognitive paralysis. And this is the point where they just go in the like a bit of a bunny in a headlight situation, or in this case, like this cat. And they can sort of just basically stare and not respond. And that's seen quite commonly. The other thing that can happen is that they can have problems with processing. So people do a lot of inappropriate things, like trying to smile at the hostage takers or offering them a beverage or something really inappropriate. And you'd be quite surprised if you have a look at the autobiographies. Occasionally hostages will mention that they've done these inappropriate things. And what we think is happening there is something called cognitive dysexecutive syndrome, which is where the brain just really can't process the information that's going on, and therefore you end up doing actions that are a little bit crazy. Hence the other cat. I like cats. Well, you've got to have cats in a presentation, yeah? So what can we do in those first few moments, or in any moment where you sort of feel very overwhelmed? Well, one is to be aware. Be aware that you could be suffering from either cognitive dysexecutive syndrome, or you could be suffering from cognitive paralysis. The minute that you know that that is a potential problem, you can start to respond accordingly. Don't try and negotiate with your hostage taker in those first few moments, because it's likely that they are suffering from some sort of cognitive impairment as well. The thing that you need to do is keep calm. If you can calm down your physiology, then your psychology is going to stay intact. And the easiest way to calm down is either to take a lot of Valium, probably don't have it handy, or you can do some easy countdowns. Yeah, so we recommend this in all high pressure situations really, and it's to focus on your breathing. And you can calm down by literally just breathing in for 3 and then breathing out. So should we all do it together? Right, breathing in for 3 and then breathing out for 3. And if you're doing that, you're sort of helping to reset the body, and by resetting the physiological responses, the sort of psychological responses will calm down as well. So meetings, yeah, we've got to apply this to our scenarios, yeah. In meetings, how many times are those flashpoints that come? Can you see those flashpoints coming? Yeah, yeah. Note when emotions are running high. Think, has the chair of the meeting at this current moment got cognitive impairments of any description? And if so, after paying careful attention to what's going on, you can use your breathing technique. And everybody knows when I'm getting stressed in meetings, because I'll be going in for 3. And occasionally I have this little mantra, which is breathe in with anger, breathe out with love. And if we've got to that stage in a meeting, you don't want to mess with me.